Finally, Congress has actually done something of significance with the stimulus package. I have the full details and everything you need to know right here in this video, so let's get right into this. But really quickly before we do, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video so you don't miss any videos going forward as things are changing rapidly right now, and so you can be eligible for some of those keywords that I drop in some of my videos so you can be eligible for the $100 giveaways. So stay tuned for those as they come randomly in some of my videos. All right, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below and let's get right into this. All right, so for so many weeks now, literally a couple months, we've been giving you regular updates on the stimulus package, pretty much to no avail, right? We've been coming back almost every day saying, all right, here's the latest update on the stimulus package. And realistically, it's just been a lot of back and forth. Oh, they negotiated this today. They added this. They took this away. They argued about that. You know what I mean? They had a little drama session about that. And realistically, there hasn't been a whole lot getting done. A little bit, but it's been very, very, very slow, as all of you know. Well, yesterday, if you happen to catch my video from yesterday evening, in that video, the very last video that I posted last night, I was like, hey, they're talking about it right now. We'll have to see what comes out of this later tonight. But after I sent that video out, I thought, great, I'm gonna have to come back in the morning and say, once again, they've delayed. However, shortly after I posted that video around 11:15 last night, yes, sometimes Congress does enjoy working late into the evenings. I'm not really sure why. They have all the time in the world during the day, but it seems like they get the most done late at night or even overnight. But anyway, long story short, around 11:45 last night, they did in fact pass the stimulus package. Now, let's talk through what this actually means, because this is one of the two packages that are on the table right now, right? So we understand there are two packages. There's the infrastructure bill, that's the $1.2 trillion that's focused on roads, bridges, airports, waterways, broadband, internet for low income, all kinds of things like that, like physical infrastructure, right? When you go outside and you drive your car, the things that you see out your window and down below, right? The roads, bridges, stuff like that. So there's that one, and then there's also the new 1.85 reconciliation bill, $1 trillion reconciliation bill. The reason I say new is because President Biden unveiled it as 1.75 last week. However, they've bumped it up by another $100 billion over the course of the last week or so. So that's why I'm calling it the new $1.85 trillion package. But anyway, so last night they held a series of votes and they actually got something done. So here's what they did. And it actually changed course a little bit. So originally, for so many weeks now, literally a couple months now, we've been hearing the progressives say, if you bring the infrastructure bill to the floor in the House first, we're going to tank it because we want to get the reconciliation bill done first. However, now that we see everything that's played out, it looks like it's all just kind of been a little bit of talk, right? They didn't actually have the authority that they thought they had. So let me walk you through the numbers here and tell you what happened. Here's what happened. Nancy Pelosi brought the infrastructure bill to the floor yesterday evening. It passed. This is the $1.2 trillion $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that's focused on infrastructure, right? So this one actually passed in a vote 228 to 206. But catch this. So previously yesterday throughout the day, Pramila Jayapal, who is the leader of the Progressive Caucus in the House, continued to come out and say, hey, I've got 20 progressives here. We're going to sink this bill if you bring it, and we don't have the reconciliation first. We're going to sink it. We have 20 progressives here. They're going to vote against it. Well, check this out. They only had 6 progressives that ultimately voted against it. So either way, it passed through the House. Remember, this does not need to go back to the Senate. It is already a done deal in the Senate. So literally it goes to the president now. I would imagine he's going to sign it right away today. Maybe he's doing it right here, right now as I speak, possibly. But he has already indicated he will sign it immediately when he gets to his desk, and that's exactly where it's headed right now. So this is pretty much a done deal. Again, the president is basically just a rubber stamp because he's already given us that indication that he will sign it. So when it comes down to the progressives, I guess they didn't really have the authority they thought they did. So yeah, but either way, they said that they were going to sink this thing, and ultimately they were not able to. They only had 6 people vote against it from the progressives anyway. So it passed by a pretty nice margin, 228 to 206. So, interesting, right? So that is a done deal. That is one of the two. However, shortly thereafter, they brought the procedural rule to the floor. What this is, it's basically a practice vote, right? So basically they bring this vote in, and this is in reference to the reconciliation bill. So the $1.85 trillion reconciliation bill, this basically just kind of opens up the gateway, kind of gives them permission to continue moving forward and ultimately bring it to the floor for a final vote later, right? So this procedural rule, like I said, kind of just like opens up the floodgate, opens up the privileges, opens up their ability to do it. It's kind of like a little practice vote, right? Just kind of like, okay, let's give a little practice out there. Let's see what we got cooking. Anyway, so shortly thereafter, they brought this procedural rule vote to the floor, and that also passed, right? So that one also passed 221 to 213. Yes, so sorry, I'm just trying to remember the numbers as I saw them. But yes, that is absolutely accurate. 221 to 213. So either way, that one passed as well. So good stuff. We're on the track here. Now here's the thing. The reconciliation bill is not done yet. It is not done. However, Steny Hoyer and the president have also indicated they anticipate all of this will be a done deal, completely done, wrapped up, and completely done by Thanksgiving. Now, here's the thing with the reconciliation bill that we need to understand a little bit further here. This one still needs to be passed through the House and through the Senate, so it does need to go through both chambers here. So we do understand that this could have a little bit of a sticking point when it gets into the Senate, basically because there's less of a margin there, right? There's 50 Republicans, there's 50 Democrats, and then there's the vice president to cast the tie-breaking vote. So anyway, we do know that the Senate may be a little bit of a sticking point, but either way, they've indicated this will likely be a done deal by Thanksgiving. So the reason for that is, now why are we thinking, whoa, that's like a couple weeks from now. Why are we going to delay this thing a little bit more? Here's why. There's a few people in the House right now who want to see the reports out of the CBO, which is the Congressional Budget Office. In other words, basically just a tally on the total spending. What is it actually going to cost, this package? Now remember, they're actually kind of touting this bill as a $1.85 trillion package. However, according to the reports that I've been seeing out there, in fact, I talked about this the other day, there are reports out there right now that are saying this package is not going to be 1.85, but rather it's going to be pushing 4 trillion. 4 trillion. So more than double what it's actually being sold to us as. So again, you probably want to know that number, right? Again, I'm not taking sides. I'm not saying what they're doing is good or bad. I'm just simply saying we probably want to know, right? If we're buying a house or we're buying a car and the sticker price is $18,500 and all of a sudden we get to the table to sign and they say, oh, just kidding, it's going to be $40,000. We're going to maybe take a step back and think, wait, what? What did you just say? You know what I mean? So I completely understand kind of where they're coming from. You want to know what you're getting into before you kind of sign on the dotted line, if you get what I mean, right? So again, not saying I agree, not saying I disagree. I'm just simply saying it's probably good to do the due diligence and just figure out what's going on. Either way, this is what they are waiting for. So for right now, I imagine that these negotiations will continue simply because nothing is written in stone yet. The bill is still open. The books are still open. You can add anything into it that you want. They can subtract anything that they want. And it's still open until it's a done deal signed, until it's a done deal actually passed through the chambers, through the House, through the Senate, and onto the president. It's not a done deal until it's actually passed, right? So between now and then, I would imagine there's probably going to be a lot of people still trying to jam things in there because why not? It's still opened up. You still can, right? So kind of interesting. As I mentioned in my video yesterday as well, this is kind of our opportunity to probably reach out to our lawmakers, right? The representatives that represent our home, our states, things like this, the senators that represent us, maybe even senators and representatives that don't represent our locations. It may be a good time to reach out to these people and really let them know what we're thinking right now. So probably a good thing. It certainly wouldn't hurt anything. And realistically, what does it really take to maybe make a phone call, to write an email? Maybe 5 minutes total, to research the email address, the phone numbers, things like that. It'd probably be worth all of our time to quick send an email, make a quick phone call, leave a voice message and say, hey, here's my situation. I'm a senior. I'm somebody living on SSDI. I receive SSI. I receive VA. And these fixed benefits are not cutting it anymore. We need to do something more. We need to get a focused fourth stimulus check. We need a $2,000 check. We need a $1,400 check. Just tell them a little bit about your story. Don't go into too much detail because let's be real. If they're getting thousands of emails or things like that, we got to make it short and sweet, right? Hey, I'm a senior. I need an extra stimulus check. My little $841 benefit every month just isn't cutting it. Or I receive SSI. My $794 per month benefit is not cutting it. I'm in the hole, $200 every month. I need a stimulus check. You know what I mean? So the more people we can get to write out like that, it certainly is not going to hurt anything, right? For the little bit of time it would take all of us to do that, it would probably have some pretty good weight behind it. All right, so this is the update that I wanted to bring you. Finally, they actually did something. Can anybody believe it? They actually did something. Unreal, right? Yeah, unbelievable. I think all of us are right now in shock. Like, they actually did their job? Yeah, they actually did their job for a minute out of one day. They actually did something. So again, I know they have a lot on their plate. I'm just kind of joking because they work at like the speed of a snail that is like glued to the ground, right? You know what I mean? Of course, I'm not saying anything about snails, but I'm just saying, they work incredibly slow. But anyway, yeah, they finally did something. So this is the latest update we have as of now. I'd imagine it's still going to be a lot of updates going forward over the next few days here, the next couple of weeks, as we finally close in on this other stimulus package. And that's the big one that could contain some pretty good things in there, potentially, right? So anyway, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video so you don't miss any videos going forward, as things are changing very rapidly right now. And of course, you got to stay tuned for those code words, which, by the way, thank you so much to all of you for the very, very nice messages on that video last night. Wow, Corey and I were up until like 12:30 last night reading comments, hundreds and hundreds of comments on that video. So thank you so much. I mean, literally, all of you are so incredibly nice with the things that you said. So thank you. I really appreciate it. It sounds like a lot of you really enjoyed that video. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. It's kind of funny in its own way, you know what I mean? So anyway, thank you again. That means a lot to Corey and I. Like, literally, we can't thank you enough for the nice messages. So again, thank you so much. Have a nice day. I'll catch you again later with another update and let you know what's been cooking throughout the day today. Enjoy, subscribe down below, go back and check out that video from last night, the last video that I uploaded, and go back and check out some of the other 1,800 plus videos right here on the channel.